Wholeness Collective. This is Rasheedah Silvertree here, and the wild deer season, the white wolf season is coming to a close. And so this will be the second to last episode, or whatever you like to call it, where we have revisited the energy of the wind, air, breath, prana, mind, thought, thinking processes, and how that affects us, our meditation, our perception of reality, remembering to connect and anchor ourselves to the breath through each inhale, exhale. And so let's just get started and jump right into the reading. Okay. All right, here. So I have, 12 energies here. And so 1 plus 2 is 3. That 3 energy is unstable, creative. It's an energy where there's movement, but there is, to me, I see the triangle, okay? The triangle is the womb of all creation. So it's a creative force that we're ending on, that will set us up for the season of water from July and until September. All right, and so that'll be the late summer, early fall type of energy. Okay, so with the energies that are facing upright, these are energies that the collective that you are facing right now at this moment. So I see here we have the full moon, the manifestation. That full moon manifestation, things coming to fruition, things that are revealed to you, that are coming into the physical form. We have the serpent energy here. And then we also have, I'm hearing dark night of the soul. So some of you are coming out of that, or you're entering through something, as you can see the doorway there. And just making sure I'm getting that in the camera. Okay. So dark night of the soul, serpentine energy, and the full moon energy. So either something is coming to a head, it's coming to a climax, or it's coming to a close. There's closure. And so with that, you have that 3 energy, that creativity, right? That influence, imaginative, your ideas, collection of ideas. And given that this is the end of the wind season, the season of air, meaning the ruler of the mind, thinking, sometimes during this season of the air, it can be incredibly, a lot of anxiety, okay? The shadow aspect of air is a lot of anxiety, restless sleep, difficulty with meditation, with calming the mind, observing the mind. Sometimes the ego takes over. And then on the light side, you have, stability, clear mental awareness, the awareness of the mind, awareness, the ultimate observer, if you will, of the mind, of the thought forms. And so, yeah, it can be kind of difficult during, I'm sensing and feeling difficulty at this time. And sometimes during the season of the air, we get a lack of faith, a lack of confidence. You're unsure, there's doubt. And, sometimes that serpentine energy in the air season can be kind of symbolic of kind of deception. Sometimes we will deceive ourselves, or we will lie to ourselves, or trick ourselves into creating narratives, to explain things away, if you will, to create excuses, okay? And so with the full moon energy, I always look at it this way: as the full moon energy can be very symbolic as like a closure, if you will, like the final hoorah, right? Like it's almost like a premiere of a movie where you have all the hard work, the producers are there, the director's there, the lead actors and actresses, the costume designers, like everyone's there, the set builders, everyone shows up for the premiere of the movie, the film. Okay? And it's almost like it's the beginning of something. It's the first, right? Premiere means first. It comes from the French word première, okay, which is first. But at the same time, there's closure. It's like all the hard work has now come to a close, and now we can show something, we can produce something, we can reveal something to the masses, to the audience, to those who what am I trying to say here? It's like an end product. Like you get in front of your class and you're sharing a project with them, okay? And they're not really seeing all the work that you've done to put into it. It's like musicians, right? Or for me, I'm a musician, and so growing up as a young musician and being part of operettas and musicals and all kinds of productions, the audience was unaware of the hours that you put into preparing for a show. Learning your lines, learning choreography, learning the placements on the stage, learning the music, right? Learning, the duos and trios and, quartets, if you will. And that takes a lot of dedication, a lot of late nights, a lot of crying, a lot of stress sometimes, because you're given deadlines to memorize, have things memorized, and the blocking and on the stage. There's so much that goes into a production of some kind. And this is what I'm feeling for you. I'm feeling for you, collective, that there's like this symbol here is as you can see, there's 3 lines there, okay? 3 layers, right? And at the very tip top, you see a dot there, which is like represents the new moon, and the bottom you have the full moon. And so we have to, some people just really focus on the end results. They like to skip the steps, and they don't really pay attention to the details. And so the choices that we make in our life, okay, every step, every line, okay, that we cross gets us that much closer to a result. And so some of you must be careful when making plans at this time, or for the upcoming season of water, because water is very fast. It can be very stagnant or very quick. But I'm getting from my meditations and downloads, and what I've received is that the season of water is going to go by pretty quickly. There's going to be a lot of events unfolding pretty quickly, and so right now, just take your time and meditate. Take your time to rebuild your strength. Mentally, make sure you have that mental fortitude. But back to the choices. So a lot of the time, it's like when you're trying to create a huge production and there's this end result, and people only see the end result, and they don't know the details and how, they only see they only hear the beautiful music, they only see the beautiful costumes, they see the beautiful set, and how everything has come together, okay, like an ingredients in a cake, okay, and they get the enjoyment out of that, but they don't really appreciate or see, sometimes you'll have members in the audience that don't really understand. Usually it's a lack of understanding or, appreciation or acknowledgement of what really goes on behind the scenes, behind the curtain, if you will. And so I'm going to ask you to give those that lack appreciation, lack acknowledgement, or lack understanding of whatever your effort you're putting into something, give them enough grace, okay? And this is almost like a test for you, because sometimes our ego wants that ego stroke. Sometimes we want that, we want people to understand, like, can't you see how much work I'm putting into this? Can't you see all the effort I'm doing? And I'm going to ask you to take a pause, okay? Slow down and ask yourself why you're doing it. What's your intention? Is your intention, with this, creative energy or project or relationship or job, okay? Is it just because you're seeking something in return, right? And I'm not trying to say that, we should give and give and give and give and produce and create and never have what we need or get or receive what we need in return. I think that's very imbalanced, but at the same time, I think one must detach yourself, and this is where that wind energy comes in, because wind energy is never attached to anything. Okay, it picks up, it moves. It's in constant flux, and so try not to stick yourself, to what you're going to get in return. Like, have your result in mind, but don't expect anything right now. It's really very difficult in the season of air to hold expectations for people, for places, for things, for situations. It's okay to have a plan and to have your result and what result that you'd like to manifest. Believe me, that's great. Get your things in order. But at the same time, what I'm looking at here, especially with this energy, like, don't get so caught up in the end result so much, and really focus in on the quality of the ingredients, okay, that you're working with. Okay? Because there's a difference between making like Jiffy Mix cornbread and making a cake, okay? Or like a high-end pastry. There's a difference. Between working with props for a play and then having a whole set crew and a whole, like a whole full financially supported production. Okay, it's something where you just need to relax. Okay, and so with this serpent energy, self-deception. Because that serpent energy, the shadow is, in the shadow realm, serpent energy is very, very powerful medicine. Incredibly powerful medicine. But it can be very deceptive. I'm thinking of Mowgli in the Jungle Book, where the serpent Khan, I think it's a she or he, I'm not sure. But this animal, the serpent uses this, it uses hypnosis to almost like trap and eat Mowgli. And luckily Mowgli escapes, but just be careful that you're not deceiving yourself and you're not setting up your own narratives for things that you don't really fully understand. It's very easy to do that in the season of air, because that air, that mind energy is, our minds are so creative, but at the same time, it can also limit us when we begin to externalize our power and you begin to create narratives for things, for people, for places, for situations that you don't quite fully grasp, okay? That's why in the season of air, it's a very important time to focus inward and not necessarily outward, because you don't we will never have the full story of someone else. Someone will always tell you what they want you to know. Sometimes they'll intentionally leave out certain details of a story. Sometimes they have a limited perception of the truth and what really happened. So you have to practice non-attachment at this time for sure. At the closure of this month of June, just detach yourself from the end result. Okay, now let's take a look at some of these energies that are right side up. These energies are usually on their side. So these are energies that are facing, that some of you are aware of and some of you are not aware of, okay? So we have the energy of the broken arrow. Again, this is symbolic of the mind. It's symbolic of strength because you have that energy in the middle, but then you have energies pulling it left and right. This can be indecisiveness, and also 1, 2, 3. That 3 energy is very strong in this reading. So you have someone who's strong, but who is trying to make up their mind or making up a decision. I don't know, I'm getting middle class and like some kind of financial decision, okay? That's what I'm hearing, like a decision that can possibly help you increase your finances, or but you're not sure. You're trying to weigh your options. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, let's look at this energy here. All right, and this is again frequency. I see a lot of people, okay? And again, in the season of air, in the season of the wind, it can be kind of overwhelming. Like I get peopled out very easily, and during the summer months between April and June, I just get really peopled out. I need a lot of rest during April, May, and June. I don't know why. I really don't. But I need tons of rest between April and June. When I'm not working or traveling, I just need a lot of sleep and rest. So for those of you, just pay attention to that, okay? And then we have this energy here. Okay. Okay, this is anxiety. All right, anxiety. And again, that energy, that the broken arrow of making decisions, anxiety about decisions, anxiety about, the end result of something. Like if I make this decision, what's going to happen? How is it going to unfold? Is this the best decision I can make for myself? And you know what? Sometimes it is, but you're still you still feel pulled, right, and attached to the end result and where that decision will lead you. And sometimes you just have to be open, okay? And then last but not least, we have connection here. We have friendship. We have a connection between two people. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people making an agreement, meaning you might even make an agreement with yourself. I see a contract as well, like a new contract, and you're making it with you. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 energies that we're aware of you're aware of or unaware of, okay? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies, unseen energies that are ruling the scene. The unseen rules the scene, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna pick them up and show you here. All right, opportunity for growth. You see the herb, opportunity for growth. Also go out in nature. Nature is again, we're in the spring, summer months now. So go out and get nourished by nature, by green things. Get a plant. The best time when you're feeling malnourished spiritually or mentally or emotionally, the best way to fill your cup is to nourish something outside of yourself. So whether that's getting a pet, whether that's getting a plant, whether that is, maybe even going so far as, doing some volunteer work somewhere in your community. There's always ways to, when you feel like you're lacking, go help others who may be doing a little worse off than you. Okay? It's again, it's important to it's important to do that, because sometimes in the mind, when we get caught up in our anxieties and our fears and trying to make all these decisions and worried about the outcome, oh, if I make this decision I'm going to lose this, if I don't make this decision I'm going to gain this, this is going to block me, blah blah blah. Like, sometimes you just need to distract yourself and not get caught up in self-deception, and help something, nourish something, create something outside of yourself. Plant a seed, okay? Okay, next, I see individuality. Some of you will be going on your own path. And again, this is symbolic for broken cycle, new path. I see something that was once whole separating. Okay, that new path will lead you. This whatever you're doing now, like without, with working out the details and ironing out the details, it's going to lead to a new path for you. Next, we have the serpent's eye. The serpent's eye, and again, it's all about the hypnosis. This is why self-hypnosis is very important, which again, that is meditation. Meditation helps to stabilize that ego. Okay, because when you can consistently sit with yourself, no matter for how long, 5 minutes twice a day, up to a half hour, up to an hour, 2 hours a day, whatever space that you can create, and you stay committed to just sitting and being present with you, that is so important. It's so important. That's where kindness can be unlocked. That's where you show kindness and compassion towards yourself. And when you begin to show compassion and kindness to yourself, you can show that and give that and gift that to others. But if you cannot sit with yourself for the love of you, okay, it makes it really hard to be there for other people, right? It makes it hard to nurture a plant, to nurture your relationship with your pets and your friendships and your community, if you can't even show love and compassion and kindness to yourself. Again, that triangle energy at the beginning of the reading, it's very present, the womb of all creation. Okay? So that 3 energy isn't bad. It's not as intense as 5. But 3 is kind of, it's unstable. It's unstable, but it's not as chaotic as a 5. 5 energy is just like no holds bar. It can be quite difficult. 5 energy is that energy that pushes you. You're like, if you're dilly-dallying, trying to make a decision, or you're holding on to old paradigms, that 5 energy shoves you, and it can be very painful depending on how much resistance you have. But that 3 energy isn't that bad. That 3 energy, again, if we look at the energy here, there's strength. 3 energy is like you're making a decision. Okay? You're that energy in the middle is you, and then you have the energy pulling you left and right. That's a decision. So a space that you're trying to make the best decision that you can. But luckily, I'm not seeing a strong 5 energy in this reading. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. And so it's just slightly unstable, because we need sometimes an unstable energy to see things a bit clearer. Okay? To expand and to grow outside of something, outside of a cycle. And last but not least, the wolf. We have the wolf. The wolf is the teacher. The wolf is the guide. The wolf is the alpha and omega. Okay? The wolf can be, it's communicable. It can communicate. It can be social, like in the wolf pack. And it plays a valid role. Each wolf plays a role in the pack. However, wolves are also they're known to be very solitary, and they'll leave the whole pack and they go off on their own journey. Okay? And so the shadow aspect of the wolf there can be lots of confusion. There can be over-aggressive behavior. It could be too dominant, if you will. Because when that wind energy is too strong, someone's being overbearing, and then someone's being blown over. So it can be imbalanced. But when that wolf energy is very balanced and it's coming from a loving place, they can be an excellent guide, an excellent teacher, an excellent example. They are a ruler of all and then ruler of none. It's a dichotomy to me with the wolf energy. They can, survive by the skin of their teeth, and they also can overindulge. All right, but they create a certain balance in nature that is crucial. And so, making and creating balanced decisions at this time is important. Looking at your options, but really choosing what's best for you. The season of the wind is kind of like it can be a selfish energy, or I would say self-serving. I don't like the word selfish. I mean self-serving, like you're serving you. You're taking a pause. You're studying your mind. Get your mind right, as they say where I come from. Okay, and so that ties up the reading for the beginning of June. I think around this time it should be after the full moon. When you receive this, may this message find you well and whole. And yes, I look forward to speaking with you on the last reading of the season of the wind. Thank you.